back to the Tabletop Podcast. This is technically episode 10.
Technically, but do we count the special?
I don't know. I called it a special on Spotify.
But did you put the episode 9 special, or did you just
No, I just put special.
So no, I think we call it episode 9 then.
Yeah, so this is episode 9, but technically episode 10. Maybe we'll think of something special for episode 10.
When we have like the crew on, like we call it. We have specials.
Yeah,
That's
different series. It's a different series, but still, this is technically the 10th episode we've done. This is like well over 10 hours.
I know. I saw it. Our first one was 2 months ago.
We're basically professionals at this point.
Yeah, professionals.
Absolutely, basically professionals. I mean, if any of you haven't listened to the last episode yet, the mukbang special with a couple of our mates, that was great fun.
It was. There was a few bits in there that we will not be saying.
You'll have to go and listen to it to find out because I mean, when I listened back to it before I uploaded it, I was laughing. It's just nice to have a guest on, or guests. There was 3 of us.
Yeah, I was going to say, went from no guests to 3 pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice. It's nice to have other people on, especially when.
True, it's so hard to carry a conversation when I've only got Alex.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know.
Well, it's nice to have Theo on as well. He, let's just say, the people I've spoken to about the mukbang hate Theo as much as we do, after some of the choices he makes on there.
True, sparkling water is just...
Yeah. We don't want to spoil it too much for you, but Theo drinks sparkling water willingly.
Yeah, that sums it up. I think we can move on.
Yeah, that's all we've got to say.
So, new week, new topics, new poll, new... well, we're in a different room, back in the old room.
Back in the original room.
The OG. We've got...
We usually start with a poll. We didn't have one last week. Well, we did, but it was a bit naff on my part.
Oh yes.
What was it that I put up last week?
It was Was it chocolate biscuit?
Oh yes,
chocolate
digestives. Do you eat it chocolate side up or chocolate side down? Now I only put it up because I watched a show with Ramesh Ranganathan, who basically asked loads of people. Everyone said they ate a digestive chocolate side up because that's just what everybody does. And then he spent half an hour explaining why it actually makes sense to eat chocolate side down.
What baffles me is you sat there for half an hour listening to a man talk about chocolate digestives.
It was a good conversation and he explained it very well. So I thought this will make a great poll. We got about 20, 30 votes and every single one of them was for chocolate side up. Nobody ate it, so I thought it wouldn't really make it good.
Yeah, there was no...
Poll, would it?
I looked at it and I said, Alex,
yeah,
we're going to have to change
that poll was
this.
shit, basically. Well, this week's poll, is actually going off of something we spoke about last week.
It was.
We're going to thank Theo for saying, oh God, I feel disgusting for even thanking Theo after his shit show of a podcast last week.
Last year.
Damn. Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa cakes.
We all love a Jaffa cake. Do you like a Jaffa cake?
Mate, I love a Jaffa
cakes. They're just great. Again, another age-old question. Is a Jaffa cake a cake or a biscuit? I'm going to ask you first, Kurt. I haven't got your opinion on this yet. What do you think?
Well, it's in the name.
Yeah.
Cake.
Yeah.
You can't call it a biscuit because a biscuit is like, it's naturally a hard thing.
Yeah.
If you're eating a hard Jaffa cake, that Jaffa cake's been left out.
Yeah.
And it's you shouldn't be eating it.
Damn right. Well, we've got a couple of arguments here, a couple of scientific arguments.
We all love a bit of science.
So let's just get into it. Now, this is actually very, very close. We had 13 votes for cake and 12 votes for biscuit.
Who's voting for biscuit?
But not a single vote to say, not a single response to say that Jaffa cakes are biscuits. All of them cakes. So I'm going to agree with you. A Jaffa cake is a cake. Come on.
I mean, they must have been trolling.
And it is. I had to Google it just to make sure. And they actually was a lawsuit. Because everyone was saying it's not a cake. Why are you calling it a cake? It is a cake.
It's a mini cake, isn't it?
It is a cake.
It's a mini cake.
So the biggie. Well, Theo was the first person to put one, and when he just said exactly what he said last week, which spurred on to something else. He said he likes to eat his Jaffa cake soggy. Now to dunk your Jaffa cake in milk, that's not the end of the world.
I wouldn't be happy.
I wouldn't personally do it.
Someone did it in my house, I'd say, oi, right? Yeah. We eat food normally.
I wouldn't say it's normal, but it's not completely out there. But then he said he likes to leave it in the milk until it's like soggy. And then you just go away. And then he started talking about how he likes soggy cereal. And
let's not spoil the other podcast.
God, sorry, I'm just getting vexed just talking about it. So Theo's one is definitely getting passed right on there. Next one was actually my little brother who said Jaffa cake, in capitals cake. Sorry, I have to say that again. Jaffa cake.
Yeah.
I don't care if it looks a bit more like a biscuit. Jaffa cake sounds better than Jaffa biscuit.
Jaffa biscuit.
To be fair, it doesn't quite roll off the tongue the same, does it? Jaffa
True, but
biscuit.
I'd imagine they call it a Jaffa.
A Jaffa. Well, I call it a Jaffa anyway.
Yeah.
Another one. Why would it say cake if it was a biscuit?
See, yeah, that's
perfect.
factual.
Now, here with this, when it's scientific here, this is what I was always told about Jaffa cakes. So when a biscuit goes stale, it goes soft. So a biscuit's hard.
Yeah.
When it goes stale, it goes soft and chewy and rank. When a cake goes stale, it goes hard. It's already soft. It goes hard.
Yeah.
Jaffa cake, soft. What happens when it goes stale?
Goes
hard. Must be a cake. There's no getting past that logic there.
There is
absolutely none. Another one from Stefan again says, cakes go hard when stale and biscuits go soft. Therefore, Jaffa cake is a cake. Do we?
I think, it sums it up perfectly by the fact that anyone who said it was a biscuit don't have the balls to write an actual response.
Yeah.
Because they just knew that they were going to get
If you
told
think it's
no.
a biscuit, shout us right now. Come on, tell us.
Yeah,
tell
you
us
ain't-
exactly why you think it's a biscuit. It's not a biscuit. It's not a biscuit. My older brother Tom said it was a biscuit.
Grow up, Tom.
What arguments would they
Grow up.
have? They've done a biscuit aisle, I guess.
I mean, they
That's
would
what
be,
I've
but
heard.
then there's sometimes other cakes are in the same.
Yeah, well,
I've
that's the only
seen-
argument I've ever heard.
You get the mini. Do you count a mini roll?
That's what Steph said last week. Well, Jaffa cakes are in the biscuit aisle.
Yeah, but a mini roll. Like get the
Crackers are in the biscuit aisle.
Yeah.
Is a cracker a biscuit? No, it's not.
But I'd argue that a mini roll is literally it's a swirly cake.
Well, it is a mini roll.
And-
It's a cake roll.
And it's next to the Jaffa cakes.
yeah,
So therefore, if anything, that's more leaning towards the Jaffa cake
Yeah.
being a cake.
He just supermarkets need to sort themselves out.
They
Putting
do.
chocolate bars in the cupboard,
I know.
in the shelves,
And putting
not
the
in the
vegan
fridge.
sausage rolls
Vegan sausage
next to
rolls.
normal sausage rolls.
Yeah. I don't think much more needs to be said about that, does it?
Not really. I feel like it was a very. I'm surprised as many people said biscuit as they have. I thought it was cut and dry. To be
Yeah.
honest, I thought it was clearly a cake. It says it in the fucking name.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go like, oh, I wonder what snowing is.
Yeah.
It's literally snow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go,
Yeah.
oh no, it's just colder rain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you wouldn't be wrong. Wouldn't be wrong. We're talking about snow, Kurt. Fuck me.
yeah.
What's the weather like going on here?
it's really sunny now.
Yeah, this is baffling. So, depending on when you're listening to this, we're recording this on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday after Easter Monday. Is this what they call today?
It is Easter Monday. Easter Monday.
The day after Easter. Now, the reason we didn't record this on Sunday as usual is I went to see my sister. We went to some country park yesterday, so I was a little busy. And it was fairly warm for the start of April. It was fairly warm, like sort of 17,
agree,
18 degrees. Sun was
quite
out.
nice weather.
I got sunburn on my arm
Wow.
from sitting in the park all day. This morning,
You are such
driving
a
to
white
your house,
person.
it was snowing.
It was
Yesterday, it was sunny enough to sunburn my arm, and today there was snow. I mean, you get some extreme weather, but
I mean, yeah, I don't even know
climate
what to
change.
say. It's
Climate
climate
change. Climate change.
Thing is, Rob, we're now going to get people saying like, oh, you should be joking about that. Oh, it's going to kill the future generation. I'll say, well, I'll be dead.
Yes,
Right?
we'll be dead.
Let me put it like this, right? I don't think anyone in the older generations really gave a crap about our generation. They were like, 200 years ago, I don't think there was guys going, oh, I'm not going to cut down this tree
Yeah,
because it's going to supply oxygen for them other people. They went, no, I want the fucking wood.
exactly.
I want a fire.
Did they know about that 200 years ago? Do you think they cared because they were?
I'd imagine they would have known. I mean,
What
when
do you say to the people who say that climate change is a myth? It's not real.
I honestly, I give so little of a shit that that question is just made me go, like,
Do you see his face right now?
It's
Literally
just
head in his
so-
hands, just going, oh.
I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. The same way that I wouldn't care if someone in Africa right now was punch up a lion, right? They're doing their thing. Let them do their thing. I don't give a fuck. It's not involving me. That lion's not going to go, oh, that man punched me. I'm going to go find Kurt in England, you know. It's just, it is what it is. You know what I mean? If we're going to destroy this planet, we'll just, you know, that's our future. You can't change it. Fuck it. What happens?
Change it. That's what they're trying to do.
What are you going to do? Just like suck all the bad shit out of the fucking air and just go, oh, well, there we go. We fixed it.
No, I read something about in the next
a big
20,
fan
in the next 20 or 30
blows
years,
it all
we're
away.
going to hit a point of no return, as they say, with climate change. At the moment, if we packed in the big shit that we did and all the fossil fuel burning and all this, which is extreme because you're not going to be able to cut it all off at once.
I like cars that go brum brum.
Yeah,
I don't like cars that go
like an electric.
And it's the idea of, you know, let's be honest, an electric car is a lot more expensive than a normal car.
Yeah,
I don't think that
there's a lot of arguments for it.
That Bob, who works down the local fucking Tesco, is too fussed about spending all his money on an electric car when he hasn't got enough money to buy milk.
Well, you go in that sense. There's not a lot of what's the word?
There's probably more that people can do.
The technology is advancing, but it's not quite there yet. As well as there's no way that we're going to be able to cut out all enough of the causes of
look
climate
at all the
change.
third world countries. They all have cars, most of them do anyway. Like they have vehicles. They use like generators and stuff.
Donkeys,
and they're powered their camels with generators.
Yeah, that's it. Got to charge up your camel.
I hate it when your camel stalls.
Yeah, when you stall your camel, it
honestly,
runs out of charge. Oh, no.
When you go to put the clutch in, and and you just hear a big clink.
A clink or a fucking scream.
You just see a camel's leg just folding on itself.
You've just kicked the camel in the side.
When you get a flat on the camel, it's terrible.
Oh, damn it. God damn it. Anyway.
Camels need airbags, I reckon.
I've got... They go so fast.
You go at top speed on a camel on like a desert, right? And you crash into
something. I started watching An Idiot Abroad with Carl Pilkington.
The camel that gets on the car.
Oh my god, yeah, where were they? Jordan. Yeah. So he's going across Israel into Jordan to going to see the wonders of the world. And he has to go on a camel. And I just he goes on a camel for 8 hours one day across the
gives
desert.
Up. The camel just gives up.
The second time you go, I'm not getting on the camel again. And there's cars. And he's like, no, I'm getting in the car. He just sits in the car.
No, that's not even.
To get on the back of a camel.
I'm pretty sure the camel just refused to walk.
Yeah.
The camel just laid down and it wouldn't get back up again. So they had to bring a car out for the camel to get into the car.
Yeah, he said it's like breaking down on a motorway back at home. That they just brought this truck and pushed the camel onto the back of the truck and drove it away. Oh, I love that show. An Idiot Abroad is great. I mean,
it really is.
I know I asked a question ages ago about having a co-host on this podcast, like another host. Carl Pilkington would just. Honestly, I would do anything to have Carl Pilkington as a third host on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I think anyone on any podcast would have happily
anywhere. Carl Pilkington is hilarious. Well, I've got a deep question for you now.
Right. The last time you gave me a deep question, I said something about religion, twatting a swan, religion coming to life.
This is exactly why I like asking you deep questions.
Punching people.
So I read this one. It's like a Twitter. I don't know what you call it. Like Twitter chain, is that what they call it?
I know what you're saying.
And it was if you could change, it's gonna be a two-parter. So if you could change anything about a human being.
Do you know what? I was genuinely going to ask you this question.
Well, I'm asking you now.
Right.
So I'll go first physically, like anatomy-wise.
Yeah.
What would you change?
I'll get rid of the pinky.
The pinky thing.
Fucking useless. Right? Do anything. I'll tell you, your pinky's just along for the ride. Like you could be making a drink. You know, you don't use your pinky.
That wasn't a fart, by the way, what we just heard. That was just Kurt sitting back in his chair.
Anything, literally anything you can think of, your pinky's fucking useless. The only thing it's good at is sipping like a posh person.
A posh person sipping their tea.
Yeah, that's the only thing I think a pinky's actually useful for. I can't think logically any reason why evolution has said we need that.
Yeah. It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well,
like
you look
an
at...
opposable thumb, useful.
Yes.
You can grip things. A pinky,
fingers.
even when you grip things, you don't grip things with your fucking pinky. You grip it with the other three fingers.
Isn't it? It's just there. If it wasn't there, you'd still be able to grip things with your hand, wouldn't you? It's weird. Well, it's like the toes. What I heard on a documentary about evolution, the reason why we've got a big toe and little toe, and the reason that they get smaller, is because they're actually disappearing. Evolution is
Just get rid of our toes.
causing, because we don't need our toes, apart from our big toe, which is the reason it's bigger than the other ones, is because we use that for stability when we're standing up.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the other toes. They have no purpose. So they're going, and in a couple of million years.
I'd like to say that my
only have one
favourite thing about evolution is the fact that our eyes face forward.
Yeah.
Fuck looking sideways.
Yeah. Who needs that?
Ain't no alligator.
No, we don't need that. Oh yeah, mine was. I don't really have an answer from what I was going to say about the toe things, but
Toes.
Anything else you change about humans?
I tell you what though, to be honest, right? If you say you only had one big toe on each foot, right? Foot fetishes are out the window now. So,
Yeah.
I'm not. To be honest, I don't understand a foot fetish. That baffles me. Why are you looking at someone's foot?
Like, gross.
Grow up. Look at something else. Look at their
Anything
face.
else on the body, feet, just.
And the thing is, right, the one thing you can't really do too much about you unless you like keep getting like, is it a pedicure? I believe it's a pedicure.
One of them. I don't know which one's feet.
Is it a manicure? No, manicures. I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
or a homosexual, as they say.
Is that the only people that can get pedicures?
Well, I mean, have you? Let's be honest, right? Every geezer's had a girl come up to him and go, "Oh, let me do your nails."
Yeah.
I've never said yes because I'm like, no. What if the lads find out?
What if the lads find out? That's toxic masculinity. That is.
But that is also, yeah. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah, I can deal with it.
Oh well, we're men.
We're men. Really?
Oh, well.
Can't go down the pub with your nails done. Like you can imagine you get torn into.
Yeah, true. Can you imagine going to a rugby club having pink, bright, illuminous nail varnish on?
You'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd know about it. You'd know. Okay. Other side of the question then. Right. What about like mentally, behaviourally?
Behaviourally.
That's a word.
Is that a word?
I promise it's a word. And if it's not a word, I've just created a word. What would you change about a human being?
What the mental state of human? Like what would I? Just get rid of something?
Behaviourally. About our behaviour.
What would I change
in the past? Human nature. What would you change about human nature?
Do you know what? I'm gonna do this right, and I expect praise.
Okay.
What I'm about to say.
Yeah.
We get rid of them arrogant men that follow women around. Get rid of that, whatever that is.
Yes.
Why are you following women around? Grow up. Jog. Go for a run.
This is very what's the word I'm looking for? Current. Very current circumstances right now. If you are a man listening to this
and you're following a woman, turn around.
Yeah. Well, you're making a woman feel uncomfortable in any way. Die.
The only time you're allowed to make a woman feel uncomfortable, right? And this is, I know this is going very bizarre, right? Okay. Is if you're telling them really stupid things, like a joke.
Okay, yeah.
You can make a woman feel uncomfortable, right? By just telling them jokes that make no sense. That's the only thing I would allow.
Jokes that make no sense.
So, almost as if you're leading towards a joke, and just as you're about to hit, like you should be saying a punchline, just don't. Just change the subject completely. Yeah. So just like, oh, yeah, do you remember that geezer down at the pub? Anyway, so I went home and I caught this male, right? Just confuse them.
That would make anyone feel uncomfortable.
But that's the thing, as I'm not just saying just women, you can confuse everyone with that. Yeah. I love to confuse people all the time with just random things. Yeah. The amount of times I've said to just people that I know, just like start talking something, and then before they know it, I'm not talking about anything. Yeah. I'm not even there. I've ran away. I'm now hiding in a tree. Yeah. I wish. I can't climb a tree. I'd break it. I'd snap a tree.
And your toes are... Your stability toes, as I'm going to call them now, your big toes.
I guess that'd be my training wheels.
Training wheels.
If I was a bike, they would be my training wheels.
If you were a bike. Mate, I'm gonna I'm going to completely agree with you on that. This is probably going to sound really deep, but a lot of it's very current.
It's very current.
A lot of stuff, not just about the women stuff, but just anybody who just being fucking mean.
Just being
mean.
just
don't be an arsehole.
yeah.
I mean, and another
you know.
another big issue. We both play sports, so we can talk about it. You've seen Man United actually started a campaign about like discrimination and hate on social media,
Yes.
like the comments and stuff.
They didn't.
I got into an argument. Me and my brother's we got into an argument with somebody on.
I was going to say
the
you argued
comment
with each
section.
other. I was
No,
going to say
no,
which
no.
one of you were the racist.
Yeah. We got into an argument with some fucking idiot on the comment section. So I support Northampton Saints. That's my rugby team, and nobody watching this probably saw the game, but it was European games this weekend, and Saints went like 20 points down. I was texting you throughout the game.
You was indeed.
To a side that we really shouldn't be losing to at all, in the Dragons Welsh side, and they we managed to come back. We had a poor first half. They come back in the second half and managed to win it 43-39 or something. Phenomenal game of rugby. Phenomenal.
Quality
honestly,
stuff.
Edge of your seat stuff. I went on the comment section afterwards. The last post on the Saints Instagram was a memorial post to an ex-player. I can't remember his name, but a player played back in the 70s. He died the other day, unfortunately. R.I.P. All that jazz. The latest comment on it, I just wanted to see, because, sports, after a game, there's going to be some absolute melon who's going to go comment some hate on some posts. And this was the latest post, so I thought there would be. And there was some guy called Chet. American. I mean, first of all, it's pretty good to see that the sport is
doing well in America.
The world. But I don't really want this fucking idiot watching it. And his comment was something
This
naive.
is for you, Chet.
Yeah, this is for you, Chet. Something naive and disrespectful. It was just like he would be embarrassed after the performance that you've just had, or something like that. It wasn't particularly horrible. It wasn't particularly like targeted at anything.
It's more of a.
It was just disrespectful to put on a memorial post, especially considering he posted it at half time, and Saints went on to have the best fucking half of rugby they've had in ages and won the game. And then we ended up getting into an argument with him. Naive piece of shit he was. Genuinely, I just commented. I just go, not only was it disrespectful, but you're incorrect because we won the game. And it's just a lot of that going on everywhere. Hate comments. I mean, we don't really get any comments, do we? So we don't have to worry about
we're all right.
Yeah.
We're too little for anyone to give. No one gives that much of a shit to even hype.
Yeah. Well, in sports especially, it's a quite big issue.
Yeah, I think it's just let's be honest. All things people just like to pick a fight.
Yeah,
don't they?
You just got to look at Twitter after a football game. Like look at an Arsenal. I'm not going to condone Arsenal's performance at all, because as much as I'm talking about not giving hate, they were garbage. Arsenal were absolute garbage. But you just got to go on Twitter afterwards, and the top 10 trending hashtags on Twitter were Arsenal players, people acting Arsenal players, taking the piss out of them. And then, in all fairness, when you get paid that much money to do a sport and you do it that badly, you've got to take some constructive criticism. But if you're going on Twitter and calling someone a twat or calling someone a prick because they did something wrong in a football game, you're an arsehole.
Yes.
You're an arsehole.
Let's be honest, that is the case, isn't it? Like, I can understand going on Twitter and being like, right, sort it out. You know what I mean? You're paid 350 grand a week and you're just a lanky knob.
Yeah.
Like, that is all right. You can call Aubameyang a lanky knob because that's what he is.
But it's in a jokingly manner. But if you're genuinely going on there to send hate at someone, you might think that these people aren't real people.
I don't think Aubameyang is too fast. I feel like
but that's where the problem comes, because a lot of people assume that because they see him on TV that these people aren't human. These people aren't. They're just footballers.
I mean,
And yes, a lot of them will have things in place where they're not going to be checking all their Twitter DMs and Instagram DMs and personal messages and stuff like that. But can you imagine yourself in that situation if you were picked up to be playing rugby or football?
No, I'm too good.
And you go on after a game where you already are beaten. You see, if you've been there, you've played rugby games, not professionally, neither of us have, but you have a shit
Speak
game.
for yourself.
Yeah, you have a shit game. You come off. You're already beating yourself up because you know you've had a bad game. You know that personally when you've had a bad game, especially for Arsenal, losing 3-0 at home to a Liverpool side which has been
shaky,
naff.
to say the least.
You're going to be beating yourself up. Any sportsman can say the same thing after a performance like that. you're beating yourself up enough already.
And
sportswomen, sorry.
No, and them gamers.
And gamers,
them gamers that are, what's the word? They have esports.
Esports, yes.
Very
After
serious.
a bad performance in anything,
especially esports.
The first thing you're doing is beating yourself up.
Ninja's so angry all the time.
So the last thing you want to go and see is everybody else hating on you as well. And sometimes it's nice to take some constructive criticism, but especially when you're in the limelight, like professional footballers are.
The problem is
it's
not even just the people; it's the media in general, just the English press. Really,
they don't need for it.
Look at the whole thing now with Greenwood and Foden.
Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, naughty boys, but Greenwood's still not in the international team, and he's still getting ripped by everyone.
It's just there's no need to hate on people. Just be nice.
Just be nice. Why, instead of next time you see someone and they've put a stupid comment up, just comment underneath it and go, love you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's got to be your place. If you're a sports fan, and I'm talking about sports because that's what this campaign at United have started at the moment. But he's everywhere.
Sorry, I just imagine Aubameyang's comment section just love you.
Love you. Yeah,
love you, Aubameyang.
That's it. But there's ways of combating it. And first of all, if you're the dickhead that's doing these comments, die.
Oh.
Secondly, if you see them, don't just let them slip. Confront them.
I wish there was a dislike button on comments. You could just dislike it. Just be like, no, I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah, exactly. There's like buttons, there's no dislike button. But confront. You don't have to be an arsehole back. You don't have to be rude back. You don't have to swear back. Call them out. These people who are hating on other people, call them out, make them feel like an idiot, and then leave it. You don't have to take it any further. And maybe one day we'll have human beings that want to be nice.
Maybe. I doubt it.
I'm glad we spoke about that, Kurt. Now we're going to go scary.
Scary.
Ooh.
Oh, I've got something scary to tell you, actually.
Oh, okay.
The other day, right,
okay.
Now I didn't mention this on the other podcast because, well, I don't feel like I would have been able to explain it as well as I could now.
Okay, yeah.
Right. The other day, I saw something very weird happen.
Oh, no.
Now, obviously, you know, I'm not able to just go on walks or anything at the moment. I've had surgery on my feet.
Yep.
You know, I can't even put shoes on. They fucking hurt. I walked around Tesco with you at one time. That was my out and about time.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. You know, I went out. I went to McDonald's. I didn't actually go out. I was in a car. Went for a drive through to McDonald's. We came out the other end. You know, I was like, hey, Macca's, all that. Driving back. Okay, right. I've seen, and I'm still not too sure I believe what I saw. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't say anything to anyone in the car. I just watched it happen in the far distance. I think I saw 3 foxes fucking. Now...
What the fuck?
Now, I didn't say anything at the time. Because I didn't believe my eyes. Because now, anyone who's been at Pitsy McDonald's knows it's not where you'd imagine to see a fox.
Can I just timestamp this quickly?
It's not where you'd imagine to see like a fox. I don't know what's the word. Well, threesome, I guess. Would be in a car park, but I just couldn't help think, what? And I was in so much shock that I genuinely didn't say anything to him. Like, Finley was in the car with me. He was in the car with me, and I didn't say anything. I didn't even, I still haven't mentioned it to him. He hasn't got a clue. And I saw it, but I was in such a shock and just couldn't say, they might not have been, don't get me wrong, but I think they fucking was. Like, I just was looking, and I was like, right. And it was quite far away as well.
Yeah.
It was a good, 50, 60 metres away from me. It was under the bridge, near the McDonald's.
I don't know what I was expecting when you said I've got a scary story to tell you as well, Alex. I don't know what on earth I was expecting you to say.
It's pretty scary though, isn't it?
But that was as far away from anything I could have thought of ever. That took me so far off guard.
In my head, I was like, I didn't know they had threesomes.
Whoa, you heard it here first, everyone.
Does that mean, Oh, foxes are evolving, Alex. They're going to start having pinkies and opposable thumbs. And they're going to have eyes that look forwards.
Oh my god.
Oh, they already look forwards.
Yeah.
They're going to change. They're going to go sideways.
That's why they're going to be smarter than humans are.
Yeah,
Well,
no, it just that terrified me. But as I said, I didn't say anything to anyone, and I just sort of looked, but I didn't look too. I didn't want to. I almost felt rude. I was watching. It was.
You felt rude for watching the fox threesome.
It was terrifying.
I'm really going to.
Now I'm not sure because I'm saying it to you, and it makes even less sense in my own head that this happened.
This looks like it's tearing you apart.
That's what's like so confusing about
right.
it.
Do you need help?
I think I need counselling. But yeah, no, I didn't tell anyone. I just saw it and went, surely not.
Surely
And I just,
not.
in my head, I went, I'm just going to save this for the podcast.
Yeah. Good idea.
And I didn't mention it to Finlay, or I didn't mention it to Curtis, who was driving the car. I didn't mention it to my mum. I just saw it, went, what the fuck?
I'm glad you've got it off your chest.
And then I looked
Kurt.
forwards again.
I'm glad you finally got it off your chest. Now you can work
Now I'm a bit worried it wasn't a 37. It was like a fox being eaten or something. And then like
you could have saved them, Kurt.
I stared him down.
Yeah. You've just watched a fox murder.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm very glad you've told us about this story. I'm very glad.
Yeah, I thought I had to get off my chest and just say what I've seen. Like, I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Some real shit.
That's the fun story of the week from
fun
Kurt.
story.
It was a scary story, if you ask me.
Scary story. Should we get on to some other scary stories?
It wasn't even that late. That was terrifying about it.
He's actually staring. His soul is broken.
It was only like 5:30.
God, they just don't even care.
Child,
Foxes,
at least foxes need a chastity belt.
Chastity belt. Yeah, let's move on. Right.
They should
Scary
save
stories,
themselves
yeah.
for marriage.
This week, I've compiled a list. I'm very good with lists. If you haven't seen it.
Do you know what? I love a list.
Lists are great.
Not a lisp.
Not a lisp.
Although if you have a lisp, there's not really. I'm sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
I don't like it. No.
You're going the right way of getting us cancelled today.
I mean, right. If you have a lisp, I don't know. Talk properly or something. Try.
Yeah, you tell them.
Just don't use S's. And what's the other? What's the other one? Ch.
CH.
Yeah, because it's yeah. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Just learn words that don't involve them, like telephone. Just
Here we go. Speaking lessons with Kurt.
Telephone.
We'll be taking payments for elocution lessons with Kurt.
And change your tone for what you mean. So for the word chastity belt, go telephone.
I hope you're all learning something.
It's almost like, you know, when you get blind people have that brow.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I'm creating a new language with the word telephone.
Telephone.
And it's just tones. Tones mean different things.
Oh, okay. So if you say it differently, it means something
Yeah.
else.
So, although it would be very difficult if you had hearing problems. So if you have hearing problems and you have a lisp, I'm afraid there's not much I can do for you. Maybe just write it.
Yeah.
You know,
just never
to be honest,
speak again and just write everything.
Maybe just write everything. Fuck it.
Yeah.
You know what? Just go to your doctor. Say, listen, right? Or don't say listen. say telephone.
Don't say listen.
Listen, I want my vocal cords out like that, right? No,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, just yeah. Just be like, look, right, get rid of these vocal cords. I don't need them. And hopefully they will just do that.
Yeah.
You know, you is it GP? Yeah,
yeah.
Maybe your GP just whips out some scissors or something.
Cuts you vocal.
Cut. Just be like, oh, be wary of my trachea. I need that. And then just write everything. Although I could imagine being in a rush, or if you're in an argument, having to write an argument would be quite like having to walk around the whiteboard just to have a conversation.
Writing it all down.
Someone pushes you, and you spend 5 minutes trying to write a really strongly worded message on like an iPhone or something, and it keeps auto-correcting. That'd be fucking infuriating. And you couldn't turn around and yell at them. You couldn't tell them wait either, because you'd be typing. You have to delete everything you've just typed just to say, oi, wait.
I'm convinced that I could genuinely come onto this podcast, set you off on a topic, and just sit and listen to you talk, because you just go from one thing to another so easily. Like, how have we gone from me suggesting we talk about some scary stories to you telling me of an experience of how you saw a fox threesome to now we're slating people with lisps, and we're giving people with lisps advice to type out everything.
Look, right, me and Alex, we're cool people.
Cool people.
I remember that one time, Alex, that we were invited. Oh no, it wasn't. I've never been invited to a party. What am I saying? I remember that one time you were invited to a party, Alex. Right? We are cool people.
Cool people.
I wasn't invited because I was too cool.
Too cool
for school.
Way too cool.
And so we are only here as expert advice givers.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, you have a lisp, man up, or.
Don't tell them to man up. That's toxic masculinity.
Okay, woman up.
Woman up. No. Speak up.
Wash up.
Don't say that. Fucking hell.
No,
I was telling Tyler to stop being controversial.
I was saying to the geezer, wash up.
Wash up. That's it.
Wash up your lips.
Wash up your lips.
Dusty lips, fam.
Tell them to speak up. That's what we should tell them to do. Because they can't talk.
What if they have ashy knees? Tell them to grow up. I feel like if you have ashy knees, grow up. Like, seriously. Why you got... Come on, seriously. Like, come on. Sort it out. Ashy fucking...
Can we talk about this?
Dry
This
bastard.
was meant to take up the biggest portion of the podcast, this section.
Sorry.
And we're 36 minutes in.
I've just decided to start yelling at people.
Let's talk about urban legends.
Before we do this...
Oh, God.
I would just like to say, right, you got ashy, like, hands and that. Get away from me. I don't want your finger like marks all over me. I wear black all the time, so it's obvious. So like, ashy people coming up to me. They're like talking to like someone who lives in like India or something, and they're just gonna be like coming at me like with ashiness. Like, I feel like they're just gonna
Just stop. You're making it worse for yourself.
Arabic. I can't.
Arabic.
Isn't their flag green with a sort of, it looks a bit like a communism badge, but in the top left, and it's white.
Yeah.
That's the Arabic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was playing a game, and the geezer who's in it, he's like supposed to be like one of the leaders, and I can't remember, I think his name's like I can't remember, but the game I noticed was it gave me very racist vibes because it had Gandhi in it as well.
Okay.
It was the leader of India, and he when you start beefing Gandhi, he holds a flip flop. And he just starts waving it at you. The Germans, I was very shocked that the Germans wasn't Hitler, because it's a war game.
Okay.
The Germans, I don't know who the German get. I think it's the Kaiser, but it doesn't look like the Kaiser. So I think it was a shit imitation, if you ask me. Yeah. England has Victoria.
Yeah.
Queen, stand up, national anthem. Come on.
Really hot.
Yeah. Who else was in it? There's barbarians, and I thought they were very racist. Because they don't, like, I almost don't want to say what they say in the game, because they don't speak words. They go like, I'm gonna have to type it and show Alex, because I'm not saying it. But basically, it's a tiny little black man that comes out holding a stick, and he just sort of shakes the stick around, and then he runs back into the bushes, and he just says like, sort of along the lines of, sort of that.
Oh,
like
okay,
it,
maybe.
Like I'm not going to say it, but I was playing it and I went, "How is this game? How is it allowed?"
What is this game you were talking about?
Civilization Revolution.
Oh God! Cancel it.
Don't cancel it, because there is a strong Russian woman in it.
Can we talk about urban legends now?
Sure. I don't know any urban legends.
That's why
what is an urban legend?
I don't really know how you. They're sort of
quality.
Yeah, no, they're urban legends. They're sort of, they're not real. Just disclaimer for everyone.
They're not real.
They're like myths, local story, local
like
scary stories.
Thor.
You'll
Is
recognise
Thor an urban legend? Slenderman.
Thor's more. Of
Slenderman's not really a legend.
Slenderman is an urban legend. We're going to talk.
But he's not a legend. You can't just
Listen,
throw around the word legend.
You'll recognise a couple
Lord
of
Bentley's
these.
a legend.
Yeah, you'll recognise a couple of these. The first couple were a bit iffy. I just stuck them in there to give you a bit of a warm up to what an urban legend is. But the first one I've got is called Corpse Train.
Corpse train.
And this is That's the thing about these urban legends. Is that
Oh,
they're not quite.
are these sort of
myths,
like
they're based
creepy
off-
past? Them
No, a
creepy
creepypasta is sort of an urban legend, but they're made up stories. These are sort of based. These could be real. So this one's in the early 1900s.
I just want to point out, I don't think real ghost stories are real. Like,
No, so this corpse train is an urban legend, basically about haunted trains in London.
Goes to Hogwarts.
Yeah, it's haunted trains in London. Basically, they say that behind the walls. So you've been in an underground station in London before. Behind the wall is another train station where they used to load up dead bodies in the early 1900s. So they used to have.
I know
two
that there is
train
actually
lines.
there's a catacomb in London
Yeah, they
under the tower
Yeah.
near the Tower Bridge.
Yeah,
That's full of dead bodies.
yeah. But what they're trying to say here is in the early 1900s, when poor people used to just die in the streets from diseases,
Throw in the
and
Thames.
Stuff, yeah. Well, they might have done, but the way they used to transport them about was they used to have the normal trains for the public, and the wall behind the wall next to that train station, they used to basically have like a dead body train station.
You can imagine it smell.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know how true it is.
I'd
because
imagine
it's
they'd
not-
use the Thames. If I was stuck in a problem, someone came up to me and went, right, we got to move all these dead poor people.
Can you imagine how many dead bodies there are in the Thames, like on the bottom of the
I
Thames?
always thought that. I always thought, what would happen if they just like drained the Thames?
That would be.
But There's probably, because obviously Thames is, it's got a lot of shit in it.
Yeah.
But I'd
literally.
imagine, they used to use it as their toilet,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
But I'd imagine if I had to figure a way to remove bodies, like dead bodies, like as a global thing, like,
Yeah.
as a country, to go right, we've got all these dead bodies here in London, and we need to move them down here towards like I don't know, Tilbury
Docks.
Yeah, right. I'd say right, she used to be the Thames. The Thames will do the rest.
Yeah, just chuck them in. They'll
Why
end up
not?
at Tilbury eventually. Surely you'd go the other way though.
I don't know. If you do it from Peckham,
Yeah.
they'll end up at Tilbury.
Okay. All right.
That's
number
what I'd do.
two.
I'd build like a big shed in Peckham. Store the dead bodies. I'd have more like, and I'd hire like Igor, someone with a hunchback, just because
Okay.
just so it looks cooler. I'm now making a film idea, right? And they just throw bodies into the Thames. It's not really an entertaining film.
No.
There's not really a plot other than
No.
man throws body in Thames.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll spice it up a bit. We'll put jewelry on one of them.
Okay.
Or something like that. So he's got a golden ring, and everyone wants the golden ring. And the Igor don't know. He's just Igor. You know what I mean? The Igor's doing his job. He's throwing all these bodies in, and he sees a golden ring, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" Nom, and he eats it. And he carries on throwing the bodies, and then he dies because there's a golden ring stuck in his throat. There you go.
A very anticlimactic ending.
Well, in my defence, I couldn't really think of anything else.
All right. Let's go on to number two.
Don't eat gold, kids.
Yeah, don't. Let's move on to number two. Now this one hits home a little bit because this one's based in Epping Forest, which isn't too far away from where we
Isn't
live.
that a forest in Epping?
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah, Kurt, you're correct. Well done. It is
Do
a
I get a
forest in
sticker?
Epping. So this one's called the
Okay.
Suicide Pool, and the story originates from apparently there was a daughter, and she had a boyfriend, and
I'm liking the sound of
they used
this.
to go walking. They used to go walking through the forest. Now the dad was a little suspicious of the boyfriend. The dad of the girl was a little
Rightfully so.
suspicious.
If you're walking through the forest every
Yeah.
couple of days,
Well,
I'll be
they
like, oh,
used
there's
to- they
something
used
to
to go.
there.
So one day, the dad follows them through the forest, almost stalking them. I've got a
Slender
story
Man.
here.
He is Slenderman.
Yeah, so they're followed in the forest by the dad, and he jumps out and confronts the boy.
What, he hasn't done anything wrong?
Well, he just doesn't like
Fucking
him. He's
man up.
overprotective. He jumps out and
Oh,
confronts the boy
bastard.
for taking the girl out. And they get into a bit of a fight. The fight gets out
A
of
little
hand.
scuffle.
The fight gets out of hand, and he ends up drowning him in a lake.
Who ends up drowning who?
The dad drowns the boy.
How
In the
old is
lake.
this boy?
I don't know.
Oh,
He did. This is the legend.
I'm getting Lord of the
And
Rings vibes.
he drowns the boy in the lake. Now, in years after this, apparently, I don't know because I don't brush up on news in Epping, but apparently in the last
not
100
very
years
common.
or so since this has happened, they have found that multiple bodies have been found in this lake,
Oh.
dead, suicides apparently, and the legend says it that the boy haunts anybody that walks past. Basically,
Goat Man.
they don't actually know where this lake is exactly, but should we go to Epping Forest?
I'm 100% down to go Epping Forest.
But it sort of just scared me. It's a bit of a boring story, but it's
Have you heard about
Exactly.
Goat Man's Bridge?
No, I haven't. Oh, is that the video you showing? Yeah.
Goat man.
Goat man. We should do it. I think we should do a tabletop special where we just go to really haunted places.
Oh, I'm down.
I'd
I reckon I'd be very. I wouldn't be what you want me to do there. I wouldn't. I'm just gonna taunt them, taunt everything, including you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like, oi, bitches, right? I'm here. Fight me, bro.
Do it.
I'll be like, take me. If there is a devil, enter me. I want to summon. I want to fight the Lord and Saviour Christ, and show him who's boss. I'll say, listen, right. This ain't Easter no more. There ain't no coming back from this bad boy. And I'll say, we eat chocolate eggs.
We eat chocolate eggs.
Bitch.
I don't want to ruin your flow, Kurt, and you're potentially making movie ideas over every urban legend I say.
I'll say, yeah.
We have got a few of these to get through. Right, the next one is again, I'm pretty sure there was a movie made about this. So there's sort of two different names. So the ankle slicing car thief is what it was titled as, or the man under the car. It's an urban legend that tells of a driver that keeps hearing noises under their car when they're driving. And when they step out of the car to investigate, their ankles are sliced.
Take to the garage.
Sliced open with a knife. And when they're rolling around on the ground in pain, a car thief emerges from underneath the car and steals it. So basically, it's people who hide underneath cars and slice your ankles.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. It's happened, though.
Proper speed bump, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. Right, first things first, right? You're having problems with your car. You go, right, first of all, pull over.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have a look, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Saying it's your ankle, you're going to go, right. What the fuck?
It's too late then, though, because they've had a knife to your ankles.
I don't know how, like, it's not going to, like, cut off your feet. Like, a knife.
I can't quite imagine it doing it, like, if they did it from the backs of your ankles.
And let's be honest, most cars, you know, there's not enough room for a geezer to just hold on underneath.
Yeah, I don't know about the driving part, but from what I've heard, stories of people, this sort of probably not sliced their fucking ankles open, but people who hide underneath the car, and when you go to unlock your car and get in it, that's when they'll attack you.
See, I'd imagine, that's why I always park next to a curb, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you can't fit your arm through.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh.
Kurt has solved that one.
And that when you pull away, you drive straight over him.
Exactly, dead. Well, this next one, Kurt, is famous. I remember doing this in primary school. Bloody Mary. Do you remember Bloody Mary? Ever done Bloody Mary before?
Yeah.
It's an urban legend or folklore legend that consists of a ghost or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She is said to appear in the mirror when her name is called multiple times. So if you haven't done
Mary's based on the Queen, is it of Scots? I believe.
Know.
She was, I can't remember the exact reason, but basically it's happened in England. The Queen of England was, it was her sister, I believe.
Yeah.
I can't remember why, but she dies.
Yeah.
So the Queen of Scots becomes Queen of England.
Yeah.
And she murdered loads of people. I think she was around. I think it was during the witch trials. I think she was one of the. She was one of the people that okayed it, basically. And then she caused. Well, I think it might not have been actually. I think it was fire. She burnt loads of places down, and she killed loads of people. And that's why she was known as the Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
But see, that always baffled me about that though, because I was like, she had nothing to do with the mirrors.
No. Yeah, and this urban legend basically says that if you stand in the dark in front of a mirror in a group of people and say Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, she'll appear.
What if you said it right? Now I've always wondered this. Bloody Mary, you know, you could spill a drink. Oh, Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
You know, if you're with posh people, if you're with three Theos,
drinking cocktails.
If you're with three Theos,
yeah,
and they're all in the bathroom, and one of them's, you know, he's got to put soap in his hand, right? He's pushed the soap dispensers to one, and it's gone on his sleeve. He might go, oh, Bloody Mary, right? Another Theo might swing the door open, and he's hit another Theo, and Bloody Mary, right? The other one might slip on a bit of piss, Bloody Mary, right?
Suddenly, poof,
suddenly Bloody Mary appears, kills them all.
Sorted. All right.
To be fair,
moral of the story: don't say Bloody Mary.
Don't go to the toilet with Theo.
Yeah, exactly.
But all kids know that.
Don't go anywhere with Theo. This next one really is just absolutely hilarious to me. Probably isn't for the people it happened to, but I just read it. It's called Bunny Man, and it's an urban legend
heard of this one. Yeah.
that originated from two incidents in Halifax County, Virginia, in 1970. and spread throughout Washington D.C. Basically says it's a man wearing a rabbit costume or bunny suit, as they call, who attacks people with an axe.
I would love, if I am to get murdered, I would love for him to have a gimmick like that.
Yeah.
I would love for just the most bizarre. If there was a witness, I want that witness to just be like I was with the foxes.
Yeah.
I want him to be like.
I've just watched a man get mauled to death by a man in a rabbit costume with an axe.
And he, like, almost. Because it's so. You wouldn't believe the geezer. Who's like, cause if I was the witness, I wouldn't tell the police what I saw. I would make up something.
Yeah.
Because you tell them that you've seen, I don't know, like, you saw Mickey Mouse and Goofy killing someone. They're not going to believe you. So you'd have to lie and be like, oh, it was two Caucasian males, 6 foot and 5'9". You know what I mean? You'd have to
say something more believable.
Because if you went, you won't believe it, right? Mickey Mouse was under a car.
Yeah. Slicing people's ankles.
Right. And then Goofy appeared from behind the tree. Goofy came up with a cloth, wrapped around the guy's face. Mickey Mouse came out from under the car, stabbed him in the abdomen. Right. At this point, I thought, I should probably record this. But all of a sudden, you wouldn't believe it, Kermit the Frog came out. Kermit the Frog came out and he stared me down.
I think you've got another movie idea here.
I tell you what, like Muppets and Disney gone bad.
Yeah.
That would be a movie.
That would be great. 18.
It could be directed by who directed the Paranormal series.
God.
I reckon that's generally like all these scary films are out there. I reckon you could make them 10 times better if you just put Kermit the Frog in them. Just every single film you think of.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not wrong.
Imagine the big bad guy was Kermit.
Kermit the Frog.
The Conjuring. Kermit the Frog was.
Somebody do it, please. Somebody edit Kermit the Frog into these horror films. Right, I'm going to move on because there's still loads left. Right, the next one is
the what's the fucking one called with the exorcism and
God.
It's Kermit the Frog. I'm Kermit.
Fucking hell.
I was talking like Kermit.
This next one is the Chupacabra. You ever heard of the Chupacabra?
Sounds really familiar.
So
you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna remember.
From the Spanish word chupa, which is to suck, and cabra, which is goat.
Right. Okay. I take it back. I don't know.
Literally meaning goat sucker.
To suck a goat.
Chupacabra means goat sucker. It's a legendary cryptic rumoured to inhabit. Sorry, that's a spelling mistake there. I got this off Wikipedia, so it's not even my fault. Inhabit parts of America. With the first sightings reported in Puerto Rico, the name comes from the animal's reported habit of attacking and drinking the blood of livestock, especially goats. So apparently there's a massive scary animal that goes and sucks the bloods of goat.
I was going to say, all right, from Puerto Rico,
yeah.
I wouldn't trust it.
No.
They're not very trustworthy people, them Puerto Ricans.
Poor bloody Puerto Ricans. This next one, this is great because one of my favourite films ever is Cars, the original animated Cars.
By the way, my favourite thing about that story is the geezer who came up with the name. Millions.
Yeah.
Millions.
Yeah.
He sat down in an office. They went, right, we've got this film. We've got cars, right? And they talk. They've got eyes. They've got feelings. Kind of. I can't really. What we think of call it. And he sat in that room and he sat there for hours.
Brainstorming. What can we?
No, he was on his phone probably.
Yeah.
And then the guy came in and went, quick, we need the name. What we got?
Cars.
And he just goes, what? The cars? And he goes, the cars. Nah. Shorter. He goes, cars? Guys.
Genius.
This man knows.
Give this man all my money.
It's almost as good as Turbo. The snail Turbo.
Yeah.
And see, you got good ones like A Bug's Life. That's quite a smart name, you know. But then you got really dumb ones, didn't you? Because Coco. Who the fuck is Coco?
Yeah.
It's the guy's name. Brilliant. Aladdin.
Are we slagging off Pixar and Disney right now?
Aladdin. It's called a fucking Aladdin, Alex.
Yeah.
It's literally, they've gone, right, what's the main character's name? We'll call it that.
Yeah. It's not very imaginative, is it?
Cinderella.
Well, yeah. Could have thought about something better. Well, talking about cars.
Fucking angers me.
You're getting vexed over this, Kurt. Maybe you should think of some names. Anyway, this next one, I don't know if you remember a scene from Cars when Mater and Lightning McQueen, they go into a field and Mater's trying to show him his favourite thing to do. When they go and honk their horns at the tractors and they go, and tip over.
Tip the
it's
cow.
called cow tipping. And that's actually
that's a thing.
legend. Where people basically go and
They
sneak
do
up
do
on
that.
unsuspecting sleeping cows
And
and push them over.
Oh.
Just push the cow over.
Do they sleep standing up?
Yeah.
Cows?
Yeah, apparently.
But the cows can go down, though. I've seen many a cow lay down.
Yeah. When it
I know cows can't go
cows
up.
lay down when it rains.
Cows can go upstairs, but they can't go downstairs.
Because their joints don't allow them.
Do you know what I love about that story? Is the poor geezer that took a cow upstairs
Yeah.
and fucked the cow and then went, right, the missus coming home, off you go, downstairs. The cow's like, no.
Why fuck
Why is
the
it-
cow?
why is it-
No,
hear me out. Hear me out. No, hear me
Why
out. Right?
fuck to
no,
the
hear
cow?
me out. Why the fuck would you bring a cow up into your fucking upstairs of your house?
Maybe it's
Unless
not
you're
inside the house.
unless
Maybe it's
you're-
in a barn or something.
No barn has an upstairs bit that a cow lives on.
I don't know.
Grow
Why
up.
does it go past
It's
your
got to
head?
be. It's the same thing as like the geezer who got AIDS for the first time. Right, so there's two ways you could have got this. You're either cutting up a monkey and you cut your finger, right,
Yeah.
and a bit of the blood's got in, or you fuck the monkey.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're gonna say I cut the monkey,
Yeah.
but chances are that's not what
Nobody's
fucking
going to
happened,
believe
is
you.
it? Like,
Nobody's
let's be
going to
honest.
believe you. Right, okay, next one. Killer in the back seat. This one, also known as high beams. So it's actually got a story to it. It says, is a common car crime urban legend, well known mostly in the United States and the United Kingdom. The legend involves a woman who's driving and being followed by a strange car or truck. The mysterious pursuer flashes his high beams, tailgates her, and sometimes even rams her vehicle. When she finally makes it home, she realises that the driver was trying to warn her that there was a man, a murderer, a rapist, or a mental patient, in brackets, just in case you didn't realise, hiding in the back seat. Each time the man sat up to attack her, the driver behind flashed his high beams to scare the killer, after which he ducked down. So actually, it's an urban legend where a woman's driving home from work, she thinks somebody behind her's been an absolute arsehole, but actually he's actually saving her life.
No, because people sit in the back of cars, Alex, right? Could have been a kid or something. How does a truck driver know?
Well, you don't ask me, mate. It's not me.
If,
It's not
like this,
me.
if I'm sitting in the back of your car, right, and you're driving down the road, and I'm sitting there, and a truck driver starts ramming you and putting his eye.
There's a murderer in the
There's
back.
a murderer
It's
there.
actually Kurt just
It's
sitting
just
up.
me, just like just trying to have a chat.
Yeah. Well, this next one is another one that just made me laugh. It's called the licked hand, also known as doggy lick, or humans can lick too.
Humans can lick too.
Is an urban legend popular among teenagers. The story describes a
fucking hell.
killer who secretly spends the nights under a girl's bed, licking her hand when offered, which she takes to be her dog. So you know, sometimes you're laying and your arm goes off the side of the bed. He sits up, lays under the bed, and licks her hand.
Right, if I'm sleeping and boss comes in the room and licks my hand, I'm punching him.
Yeah, you're not just gonna go, oh boss, leave me alone. Fuck off, boss.
I'll
Get
go,
out."
oh yeah, fucking fuck face, right?
Yeah. Stop licking my
Hey,
hand.
wait, who the fuck let you in the room?
Yeah. Well, this last one, probably most well known, Slenderman, is a fictional character. I was just going to say Wikipedia's definition because I can't be asked to describe it myself.
Slenderman.
A fictional character that originated as an internet meme created by Something Awful forums user Victor Surge in 2009.
Fucking Victor, bastard.
It is depicted as resembling a thin, unnaturally tall man with a blank and usually featureless face, wearing a black suit.
I love actually usually. Sometimes he has a nose.
Sometimes, yeah. The Slender Man is commonly said to stalk, abduct, and traumatise people, particularly children. The Slender Man is not tied to any particular story, but appears in many works of fiction, mostly composed online. It's games and films. He's even got his own film now, isn't he? But you play games about
Now,
Slender Man
the
all
big
time.
problem with, like, obviously, just in general, just, you know, coming up with these sort of stories for kids is, you know, the whole fucking, like, the murder, or the attempted murder thing that happened. Do you know about that?
No.
I'm not going to go into it much because A, it bores me, and B, it's just fucking stupid, the whole situation. So, there was two girls that, obviously, they read it, they played the game or something. I can't fucking remember, one of the two.
Yeah.
They learnt about Slenderman, and they were like, "Oh, we should please Slenderman. We shall kill someone."
Yeah.
So they got their friend to come out. They're only about like 8, 9, maybe 10 at a push. They got a butter knife out. He took this girl to the woods and shanked her about 40 times, I think it was, you know. And then they just left her there to die, basically. She survived, thankfully.
Yeah.
And then, the girls were sent to prison. And you're like, right, why? Well, that whole situation could have just been avoided if you just went, look, right, it's not fucking real.
Yeah.
He's not going to come and save the day, is he? He's not going to be like, oh, good on you. You killed that girl. It's a fucking Slender Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be fuming if I killed someone and Theo came out of the woods and was like, hey, my guy. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. Featureless face, bitch. Yeah,
Well, I'm glad we talked about scary stories.
I think
nobody can sleep now.
I've got a really scary story, ready? There once was a man from Peckham who had a really big shed. It was full of the dead. It's turned into a poem.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something that rhymes with dead. One of them banged their head. Sure, fuck it, why not? Yeah, I've given up on my poem. Yeah.
Have you got any? You say you didn't do a.
I didn't. So this week we haven't got our quote game because I witnessed Fox's shag,
He's been laying in bed ever since.
and since that very moment, I've just been in shock.
I'm not.
I just love the fact that I didn't say it to Finley, and if Finley does listen to this, he's gonna be so baffled of why I didn't say it to him because I almost didn't know how to say it. I don't know how do you break it to someone that you're in a car with that you've just seen 3 foxes shag without causing a scene.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not wrong.
Oh, I have some questions for you.
Okay, Kat.
So, do you know who James Lipton is? First of all,
No.
so he used to. He's died recently. Big sad.
Okay.
We like James Lipton. He used to host this thing called Inside the Actor's Studio, where he asked the person who's being interviewed some questions, Alex. And I want to ask you these questions. So they're not like very bizarre questions. These are just questions to almost get into your mind, Alex.
Okay.
Right. What is your favourite word? Just word. Just your favourite word.
I don't really know what my favourite word is. What do I say the most?
Don't know. I mean,
Bosh.
bosh. That is a good favourite word.
I say
I
bosh
do like
a
that
lot.
word. What is your least favourite word, Alex?
I have a least favourite word.
I've just read what the next question is. You're going to love this next question.
I don't know. What is my least favourite word?
What word do you hear and you go, oh, fucking hell?
Any racial slur, maybe.
A racial slur.
Yeah.
Would you like to say the racial slur?
I don't think I can.
Is it the one that begins with an N?
Probably, yeah. That's my
Okay.
least favourite word. Let's go with that.
Right. The next question, I didn't actually read these questions out before. I only read the first 2. But the next one is, what turns you on, Alex?
Oh my god. Well, why not answer this question? I mean, I have family members that listen to this podcast.
All right, then what turns you off, Alex? That's the next
What
question.
turns me off?
Yeah.
Um.
You could have said the light switch.
Yeah.
The light switch turns you off.
I'd be concerned if a light switch turned me off, though.
I'll be furious.
Yeah. Just random. That's it. Life over because somebody turned the light off.
Power off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Recharge,
don't know what
don't
turns me off. I'll say that. I don't really. Sorry, we had a bit of technical difficulties there. Your sister wanted some donuts.
She did want some
Yes.
donuts.
Turns me off. I don't really know. Ignorance.
Ignorance. That's a good
Let's
one.
go with
That's a good one.
ignorance.
What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, that's a tough one. This is difficult. What sound or noise do I love?
Yes.
I like the sound a villager makes in Minecraft.
That is a quality noise. What noise do you hate?
This is. I don't really know.
You know noises you hate. You know, you've just been chilling and you just hear something, you go, shut up, you bastard.
Yeah, certain people's voice.
Oh,
You know, just somebody you just don't like, and you
Yes.
hear their voice, you just go fuck off.
right. What is your favourite curse word?
I want to say the C word, but I feel like I don't really want to say it on the podcast.
The C
It's a
word.
bit far. I say it a lot.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I'd like to be. I don't know. You're hitting me. These are some deep questions. What aside from what I do, what would I like to be?
What would you like to attempt to try and get a career in?
I'd love to be a golf player, mate.
Golf player.
Yeah. So, it seems like such an easy job.
What profession would you not like to do? This is is there anything you're like that? Just doctor. You wouldn't want to be a doctor.
No, I'll take the
Any
money.
reason?
It's not that I'm squeamish, but I just don't. I can be around sick.
I couldn't be
people
asked to
and blood
deal.
all day.
Yeah,
No, not for me.
not for you. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I've been waiting for you, mate. No, here's a cold one.
Here's a cold one.
Here's a cold one.
That is a good line. I want him to say, "Oh, down you go, mate."
Oh shit, you're in the wrong place.
Quality stuff. That is the 10 questions. It was 8 for you.
Keep that because that's good for some guests we can get.
I wouldn't rip off James Lipton too much. I like James Lipton.
Exactly, and in his loving memory, we'll use his questions.
So what we'll do is we'll take all of his work, right?
Yeah,
and we'll claim it as our own.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, and then we'll start making money from it as well. Simple as that.
You can share the wealth.
I wanted to, before we come to an end, I wanted to just talk about my. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago about my
The
charity.
running, big man
Mate,
running.
I tell you
thing.
what, I'm knackered. I'm absolutely knackered. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. I don't know why. I mean, we've raised nearly £700 for charity now, which I'm pretty chuffed about.
Bet you wish you didn't give it to charity though.
Yeah, but yeah, I've done 84 miles now. There is
on track.
Yeah, more than on track. I should be about 80. I'm about 84. So now last week. Now.
Last week.
So I need to do 16 miles this week instead of 20, which I've been averaging about 22 a week. So
happy days then.
I'm happy with where I am. It means the last week's going to be a little easier. I've still got to go for a run after this. What I don't like, the only downside of not recording on a Sunday, because Sunday's usually my rest day. So usually I just come here, record, upload it, go home, watch a football, play some Xbox and go to sleep. And now I've actually got college work and running to do today. So, but yeah, I've done 84 miles.
You haven't got any college work, surely.
Yeah, unfortunately. So.
Shocking.
More because I should have done it before Easter, and I'm back at college next week, and I haven't done any of it. So.
Fuming.
But it's tough, mate. My legs are killing. But I'm back at rugby training this week, and it doesn't feel as bad. If I'm honest, my legs a bit more fresh.
Nice.
And I'm like 20 kilos lighter now, so I can run about again.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
I can run about again, which is nice. No, I just wanted to say a few because next time we come on a podcast next week, I'll be done. And I'm not sure.
And he's never going to run again.
I'm not sure how the GoFundMe works and if it's going to stay up for a couple of days after I finish my challenge. But if it goes how I think it's going to, the donations will be down Saturday, so the day before the next podcast. So if anybody listening wants to donate, if you haven't already, I know a couple of people that listen have donated already. The donation link will only be up there. It's been in the description for the last couple as well. If you're watching on YouTube, if not, go to our YouTube or go to my personal Instagram. It's in my bio. The link to my GoFundMe page. If you do want to donate, it's only going to be up for another week now. I'd really appreciate it. You know, it's going to an amazing cause. I won't bore you too much with it because
he's been running like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, exactly. That's why everyone's called me on rugby now, Forrest Gump. So, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy it's over. If I'm honest, I'm happy it's almost over. Yeah, I think we've done well.
So, is it true that you are not going to run again after this?
Yeah, never again.
No,
I can start to train a bit more specific for rugby again. I mean, it's only 2 more weeks before gyms are reopened as well now.
That's true. Before we do end, there is one thing I do feel like I have to say to the people who are still listening, obviously. A lot of people probably ain't still listening. Yeah. But for people that are, and are semi-interested, right? I played Alex at FIFA.
Oh my god! No,
Now-
I forgot about this.
Right.
Oh, no.
He was PSG.
Can we start with the first game? Because I'm pretty proud of myself.
No, let's not start with
Let's
that.
just set some context here. Kurt is a much better FIFA player than me.
I haven't
better.
played FIFA in about 3 months.
And I hadn't, apart from the last week where I played a handful of seasons games online, where we all know people on the seasons is just wank. I mean, I'm literally 11 games under.
So I mean, don't get me wrong, I play pro clubs, but I don't count pro clubs.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
I'm naff, and I have been naff for a while. We already knew. I mean, Kurt a couple of months ago beat me. I was Barcelona, you were India, and you beat me. So the first game we did, what was it? I was Arsenal, you were Monaco, and you won 2-0. I was happy to keep it at 2-0, and then it just went downhill from there.
I mean, to be fair, I probably could have scored a few more. I did try and chip a few goals where I just shouldn't have. But
that wasn't the case, mate. It wasn't the case. I could have scored a few.
But so next game we did Man U v Arsenal. I had big boy Harry Maguire up top.
Yeah, to try and make it fair.
Got a hat trick. Got a hat trick with Harry Maguire that game. Pretty happy with myself. And then I thought, you know what? We'll change it. We'll go for Phil Jones and Harry Maguire as a striker partnership. Alex was PSG.
Yeah.
Phil Jones got a hat trick and an assist. Maguire got 2 goals and I believe 2 assists.
I lost 6-2. I lost 6-2 to a Man United team with Harry Maguire and Phil Jones up top.
Yeah. So if you do feel like ripping into him, there you go. He's shit at FIFA. Go for that way.
I'm wank at FIFA.
He's honestly.
I'm glad we've ended on such a nice
I've
note.
got an amazing skill run with Harry Maguire through the middle of a PSG team.
I really hope that never goes public. Ever.
Oh, I'm so recording it on my phone. I'm going to put it on my story.
It was so embarrassing, mate.
I'll put it on my story after this goes live.
Yeah, do it. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening again. We've done pretty well. Look at that, hour and 11 minutes. I'm happy with that.
Happy with that, yeah.
Thank you everyone for listening. You do the normal jazz, share, like, whatever.
Go check out his GoFundMe.
Yeah. Make sure you go and check out the
And
GoFundMe.
thank you to everyone who has donated.
Yes, it means a lot.
Big dub.
Big dub. Lots of money. All the money.
All the money for the charities.
Yes. So, yeah, and we'll speak to you next week. Adios.
Adios, amigos.